And so what this is it's just firing off video ideas and blog ideas, because these are what people are most likely typing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the walkthrough, the most underrated, valuable marketing show in real estate history. I am Eric Simon, aka the Broke Agent, and I am joined here by my co-host, my good friend, my best friend, Jason Cassity, joining us from it looks like the Blair Witch Dungeon. Where are
We
you
are
today, Jason?
I'm honestly being held hostage against my will
It
in
looks
Oakland,
like it.
California. Tell me this doesn't look like a hostage room.
Oh my God, is there even water down there?
There is, because I just use it to spill to try to get a coffee stain out of my shirt. So fun story,
Uh-oh.
I'm in Oakland and I'm just flying here for the day. So I'm flying home at like 5 p.m. So I didn't bring clothes with me. And then I got in the Uber and immediately spilled coffee. So we're off to a
Well,
great start.
we're off to a great start. We appreciate your dedication to the walkthrough. And guess what, guys? You're lucky you're here because we have an amazing show. I just got back yesterday night from the Alex Hormozi exclusive mastermind. I have 5 takeaways from that. And then Jason Cassity is going to
Where was
cover
that?
a new SEO hack
Where was the
for
Hormozi thing?
agents. Vegas.
Ooh, okay. Did you win?
Yeah, I threw 50 on the Seahawks. That's pretty much it. I got in super late, so I missed all the other games. But the
Nice hit.
second late game, I won. Thank you, thank you.
Nice hit.
Oh, Hormozi Mastermind. This all you. If you've been watching the show, we cover Alex Hormozi a lot, but we never cover Alex Hormozi, but we've mentioned him a
We
couple
have.
times. But if you are in the marketing world, is what I meant. You know who Alex Hormozi is, and you know he just broke the Guinness Book of World Records for selling a nonfiction book. I think they made like $100 million on this thing in the first
Yeah.
24 hours, something absolutely ridiculous. Sold 2.4 million copies, broke all records, and he did this through affiliates, right? So he had a leaderboard of 50 to 100 people, and the more people you got to sign up to his webinar that actually got the book signups, the higher you went up on the leaderboard. I happen to be in the top 50 thanks to Sharon and I sharing the same link. So appreciate that, Sharon. And that got me an invite to this exclusive mastermind. So it was 100 people, and it was Alex Hormozi answering questions from business owners and marketers straight for 12 hours, like interview style, mic style, like no presentation
12
planned or anything,
hours.
just 12 hours straight with breaks, of course, and networking of just handling questions from business owners. And it was probably the most valuable 12 hours I've spent at a conference or event like this in my entire life. And I've been to a
Did
million
you
of these things.
did you ask any questions?
I did, and I will give you the answer to those questions. But there were 5 main takeaways that I want to break down that could really help real estate agents, because there was also a few real estate agents there and a few real estate business owners. So one of the first things that Alex Hormozi said, probably in the first 10 minutes, when someone was saying, hey, this is really working well in my business, this isn't, what do you recommend that I do? He said, whatever is working in your marketing, do more of. So just keep doing that. The way he simplifies things with his rhetoric is also really clear, but it sounds simple. It's just sometimes you have to hear it from someone else, right? Like if something is working in your marketing, you keep doing that. So say last month you posted 20 videos and 18 of them got 2,000 views and 2 of them got 5,000 views. That's obviously an indicator that the packaging of the videos that got 5,000 views, meaning the hook, the format, the topic actually worked. So I'm not just saying to repost those videos. I know we've said to do some of that in the past, but I'm saying to do more examples of videos like that. Like on BAM, we're constantly testing different formulas, topics, titles, thumbnails. And we always found that numbers work in titles. Like on the walkthrough, we always try to say, this agent closed 10 deals from this strategy. So because that worked, we keep doing that in our YouTube titles, right? So we keep doubling down on the things that work. Same thing with BAM. Like our webinars are by far our number one converting events into BAMX and to get more emails. Emails are our top conversion metric, and we want to get more emails. So what do? We start doing more and more webinars. And initially, I didn't want to do this because I was like, there's going to be some sort of audience exhaustion. But because it works, we have to keep doing it. So I guess my question to you, Jason, is there anything in your marketing that you're doing right now that's specifically working that you could pour more gasoline on?
Yeah, you've heard this. Do you listen to All In podcast? We've talked about that show in the past. And in
Yeah.
the intro, they say like, "Let your winners ride." Like you hear David Sachs
Yes.
saying, it's literally the hook in their intro, and it's the same thing here. Like Jimmy Mackin talked about it once too, where he's like, if you run a bunch of tests of ads and then you have one that outperforms, put all your spend behind the one that's outperforming instead of trying to spend $20 on each. You put all 100 on the one that performed really well, because obviously something you did in it, the hook, the visual, it worked. So you want to promote, you want to work on your strengths, like triple, quadruple your strengths instead of trying to work on your weaknesses. So yeah, like
Mhm.
in real estate for us, it might be a specific, when we do our digital ads, we'll do the Facebook ads where we show 4 pictures and then we don't give away the price or the address, but we just say, hey, new listing in Central California or Central San Diego. It's got these amenities. Click here for price and address. Those work all the time. And so we continue running those every time we do a new listing, even though we do experiment sometimes with like property tours and things like that. Those work really well. So every new listing, we put the money behind those because that's what gets us the most leads. So whatever it is in your
Yeah.
business, if it's talking head videos or property tours, just do whatever it is that happens to jump out for you, do a bunch more of that.
Yeah, even if it's not content, right? Like if you crush cold calls or if you are
Totally.
getting a ton of listings from print marketing, everybody kind of has shiny object syndrome, including myself, where the new platform pops up or a new content style pops up. But if what you're doing is working and bringing you leads, and then you start to saturate that by going somewhere else, but if you took that effort and just doubled down on doing your mailers, your print marketing, or your calls, or whatever is working for you, that's probably a better strategy. So very simple to lead it off, but double down on the content or the marketing strategy that works and just keep doing that.
Yep.
The second one was a way more tactical one. So for YouTube videos and short form videos, he called this the 4 Ps. And by the way, he has a name for everything. He and Sharon are great at
Sharon
this,
does
where
that
they
too.
just
Yeah.
they frame whatever formula or packaging of whatever it is, and it helps you kind of identify what it is. I don't know how agents could do this, but I think
So
it's definitely
when
helpful.
you're at a listing presentation, you can say like, instead of just saying we do open houses, you just say we have a 412 open house strategy or something like that. If you
Yes,
name your systems and processes, it looks like you've thought about this and done this before, as opposed to, I'm going to put your thing on social. It's like, it's our 328 social media strategy. So you can name
sound
that stuff.
sounds so much better. You just apply random numbers to
Yeah,
something. They're like, well, what's the point of the
totally.
328? You're like, I don't know, but it sounds good. It's easy to remember.
That sounds great.
So for YouTube videos, I don't know if it was 4 Ps or 5, but the four I wrote down were promise, plan, proof, and picture for every video. So at the beginning of the video, and we should probably start doing this at the walkthrough, where we kind of do, but that's when you actually promise what's going to be in the video. Then you map out the plan. Jason, Cassity, and I are going to talk about this, this, and this. And then the third thing, which I thought was the most compelling, was the proof. So the proof of your video should be you actually explaining why someone should listen to you. So you always have to think that the audience has no idea who you are when they come across your YouTube videos and sometimes even your Instagram videos. So that's providing some proof. I'm the broke agent. I've run the #1 real estate humor brand that's evolved into a real estate media company. I've posted over 60,000 organic pieces of content and have grown one of the largest organic followings in real estate, right? If I say that at the beginning of a walkthrough episode, although it's self-aggrandizing and I would hate doing something like that, it does at least let the audience know, like, oh, I should listen to this asshole, right?
It's
Like
got some
you could
proof
do that
to
in
it.
your real estate video. Got some proof to
100%.
it. Like,
Yeah,
mhm,
it's in this video. I'm going to show you why escalation clauses help me win more buyers their homes on the first go around. I'm Jason Cassity. I've sold 300 homes in San Diego. I've been doing this for 15 years, and I'm going to jump right into it now. Right. So just that intro alone had the promise and the proof right into it, and
mhm.
it's not something I do very often, but I probably should layer it in more, especially on ones that are more for like outbound lead gen, like or like relocation content, stuff like that. Like obviously if I'm going to post about spilling coffee on my shirt, I don't need to go into my proof of that. But if it's a
Mhm.
real estate thing that I plan on using for like ad spend or something, then yeah, you start with the promise, you go into the proof. I like that framework.
It works so well. So we're doing, if you're watching this, we just hosted the Further Together live stream. And I did a video this week where I had a little proof about Katie Day, who gets a ton of leads on Instagram stories through quizzes and polls. And that was our best performing promotional piece for the webinar. As I said, this is Katie Day. She's a realtor out in Houston. She gets hundreds of DMs every single week from doing story polls and quizzes. If you want access to this webinar, comment the word local right now. And just because you explain who this person is and why they're actually good at their business, the more people are likely to actually take action on it. If you just say, hey, we're doing a webinar on how to get more leads on Instagram stories, which I've also done on my Instagram story to try to get leads, that doesn't work as well as actually providing the proof of to what it is. So anytime in your videos, if you could find the right moment, not at the very beginning, of course, but after you deliver the hook, just like you said, this is the best restaurant here in San Diego, best place to get burritos. By the way, I'm Eric Simon. I've eaten 5,000 burritos in the
Yeah,
last 5
perfect.
days and sold 5,000 homes. So I'm a home expert and a burrito expert. This is why you should go here.
Maybe, now that you say it out loud, maybe it was Dan Parker. We were trying to figure out who does this. And I know Dan, with some of his hyper local content, he'll do that. He said, he'll do the hook and then he'll say, and I'm Dan Parker and I'm a local resident of Carlsbad and I've been to all, you know what I mean? So like he does the
Mm-hmm.
proof, even though it's not real estate proof on that one, it's hyper local proof, but that works too.
Yeah. Like
Oh,
there's
it's
yeah.
Alyssa Kernut. Oh my God. Of
No
course.
way. No
Of
way.
course.
Is it actually?
Go to her Instagram. It's her first video and it's her intro video. And she's like, hey, are you new here? I'm Melissa Kernut. I'm born and raised in Spokane and I'm a local and I try the places and I can tell you what's the best thing that are happening. It's like a complete proof video.
Okay, well, we'll play that right now.
If you're looking for the best family-friendly spots in Spokane, or maybe exclusive inside information on new businesses coming to town, then you found the right girl. If you're new to this page, hey, my name's Alyssa. I've been a real estate agent for nearly a decade, and I have made it my mission to help you love where you live just a little bit more. Here you'll find the best places to take the kids or have a night out with friends. You'll be the first to know about the newest restaurants opening in town, and you'll get sneak peeks of the latest happenings in Spokane. As a welcome gift, I have put together the ultimate Spokane guide, which has everything from the best coffee shops in town, getaways from Spokane, my favorite restaurants, and the best dishes at each, and so much more. Comment Spokane Guide on this video to get your copy. And make sure to follow this page so that you know the latest on all things Spokane.
All right, folks. That was completely random. We were not planning to play an Alyssa Kernot video or mention her on this video, I promise you, but she does provide proof in her content. So that was the second main takeaway from the Hormozi Mastermind. The third was a really interesting question. So basically, people got to go up and interview him for 10, 15 minutes. And by interview him, I just mean they would ask questions about their business. And he gave us these cards so you could ask your questions in the right way. You may not be able to read it, but it says, this is called the Mosey question framework. It says, my name is blank. I sell X and Y. We do Z revenue, and I would like to be at W revenue. This is what's stopping me. So that way, every question kind of has a built-in hook and is in the framework that everybody can understand. So they're so conscientious of, a question going off the rails that doesn't provide value to people, that every question provides value. So this was, if you're ever hosting a real estate conference or something, maybe do something like this if you're doing Q&A. Really
what was it again? Read it.
It says, my name is blank. My name is blank. I sell X and Y. We do Z revenue. I would like to be at W revenue, and this is what's stopping me. And then Alex would basically tell you how to prevent whatever's stopping you. So in this framework, somehow someone wrapped in the question about branding. And Alex Hormozi was just on the Impulsive podcast with Logan Paul. I don't know if you're an avid listener of that, Jason, but it's him and Big Mike as the co-host. Have you ever seen it?
I'm not, but I know,
Okay.
I know of Logan.
Okay. Most people know Logan, Jake Paul's brother, WWE star, social media, whatever. You know who he is. Controversial figure. And someone asked the question, Alex, why did you go on that podcast? Like, don't you think this is going to take away from your brand? And then he's always drawing like diagrams and stuff, which really helps illustrate his points, which I think agents can do a lot more in their content too, where you're actually not just naming things, but drawing out. It's just so effective for the visual learners. So I love that presenting style. And he said, he drew a circle, and in one circle, he's like, these are the fans that I'm going to lose for going on the Logan Paul podcast. It was a small percentage. Here are the fans that I'm going to gain from new brand recognition for the people on Impulsive that have never seen me before in their entire life. It's a whole new audience. And he specifically does not do a lot of interviews unless it's an interview that could help give them more brand recognition like that. So the takeaway here for real estate agents, obviously we're not going to be invited on the Logan Paul podcast or
Never say
something
never.
controversial like that. Never say never. But it's all about collabs, right? And collabing with the right people and collabing with brands or businesses bigger than yours, or collabing, even taking a picture just so people associate you with another big brand or business, like taking a picture with a restaurant owner that everybody knows in the community. Or if you're Ken Pozak, it's a picture of you with the mayor of Orlando, right? Like
And now he's
these
the official guy of the Orlando Magic. Shout out to Ken. Like these collabs are
exactly.
huge for him.
Yes. And I saw one of these Houston guys that does these speed tours that did something with the Houston Rockets too, where he was like announcing the Houston Rockets schedule. Obviously that's a huge collab, but
Totally.
just the main takeaway was more collabs, and of course try to collab with businesses and brands that elevate your business and brand, where people can see that association, where they're like, oh, Jason Cassity, oh, this restaurant that's a staple in the community. Like now I think about these things in the same conversation.
Totally. I agree. Hyperlocal collabs and then collabs with other
Yeah.
influencers, but not necessarily even hyperlocal, but other influencers in your space. Both great. We've talked about that for years, and I think it's good to
Yeah.
hear it get hammered home.
He also said he doesn't speak at events to avoid associations. So he spoke at the real event, so that's good. And he
Good.
spoke at the
Good
BAM,
time.
our
Yep.
virtual event. But someone in the audience said they actually disliked Alex at first because he was on the same stage as a bunch of like, self-help guru hacks.
Oh yeah.
And
Like the Ty
that and
Lopez's of
he's
the world.
exactly. And he
Yeah.
he was like, that's exactly why I don't do these speaking gigs, is because there could be someone who speaks at the beginning of the day that I have no association with, that I don't know. Then now they're just grouping me in the same thought process of that scam artist.
Totally. Even being on the banner with them, you might not even have ever put it together or seen it, but just having your face next to someone else's face, you got to be careful with that.
That's what he said. So when we had him on BAM Pro Bowl, they're like, we have to do it as a mystery guest. Don't present him on any sort of marketing whatsoever.
See, I can
And
see
I
it.
was I
Because
was
then when
wondering
you,
I was wondering why.
yeah, because
And
then he
now it
finds
makes
out about
complete sense.
you and your complete debauchery past, and now he's on
Exactly.
a banner with your face.
Exactly. They're like, wait, why is Hormozi on the same photo as the broke agent? Now I no longer want
Exactly.
to associate with him. So,
Exactly.
main takeaway, collab with brands, especially brands that are well respected and bigger than yours. Fourth, he was just talking about how volume and consistency outdo everything, especially from a content perspective. I think he said he puts out 60,000 pieces of content every single year. Obviously, he has a team that is tweeting out stuff that he is saying while he's talking, and then testing those tweets and putting them into Instagram posts. Like he has this entire operation. But a lot of the questions that the business owners were asking were simply answered by, are you doing more content? Is there a direct correlation between how much content you put out and how much business you're doing? Most people said yes. Then it's like, okay, well, do more of that. And I
I
know it's very
imagine the
simple.
12 hours of him just saying do more content.
Yeah, it was obviously more profound than that, but it was just, it's true. It's like the more I post on BAM, the more I post on the broke agent, the more those accounts grow, the more emails we get, the more eyeballs we get to our events and everything. Like there is a
Yeah,
direct correlation to it.
makes
So
sense.
volume and consistency definitely outweigh everything. And then also he said, if a profile is inactive, and say you're searching for a real estate agent, there's two agents that pop up. One is Jason Cassity, who posts consistently. Another one is an agent who hasn't posted in the last 15, 20 days. Despite all the other stuff you know about them, that is going to be a factor in that client's decision of, I see Jason Cassity active, posting daily. Maybe I shouldn't have used an
Don't use
example
me because
here.
I'm the 15-day one. But
Exactly.
that's a great thing though, because like even though the profile might look good if it's inconsistent, because then they may also, and maybe you were getting to this point, but they may also then follow both of those agents and then not make a decision for 15 days, and then they've seen the other agent 15 times and then they saw you none, right?
Exactly. Yes. And then also, like, if you follow a business and the business is dormant on their account, do you think, okay, is this business shut down? Like, is this
Yeah.
agent on vacation? Is there some reason why they're not posting? It's just another reason to post consistently, which everybody listening to this pod knows. Number 5 was extremely important. It was technical jargon kills.
Yep.
Anytime someone cannot comprehend what you're talking about, whether it's you're talking about an escalation clause or you're talking about buy downs or some, I don't know, some sort of realtor speak that the audience needs a lot of explaining, they will not digest that video in a way that is effective.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
true.
the same thing with text on videos. I see a lot of agents that will do B-roll style, and there's so much text on the video that you can't even read it.
Yeah.
I do this with memes. I've done this with memes where sometimes the meme caption is too confusing. If the audience has to take 1 second to think about what you're doing, that video will not perform.
Yeah,
So
especially in our business, you talk about earnest money deposits, but we say EMDs or we say ALMs. There aren't like any type of abbreviations. Maybe if it's some long-term client and you're just talking, that's fine. But when you're doing content on social, you have to avoid the acronyms and the industry jargon.
yeah. And then he had another great point that isn't really marketing related, but he said the distance between you and your success is the amount of difficult conversations you have to have. And I'm sure that like it just really resonated with me because there's so many like conversations you just don't want to have because of social anxiety or you're too nice or you're too mean or whatever reason. But like the problem that has to be solved takes place in that difficult conversation. I thought that was
That's
enlightening.
that's solid. I remember this taking back to BAM Vegas. What was that? BAM Mania? What would we call that one in
Yeah.
Vegas? And Ricky Carruth
Mania.
talked. Yeah, Mania
Yeah.
and Ricky Carruth talked, and he did mention a really good line in there, where it's basically like any agent I can take from start or no matter where you're at to $1 million at any given point. The key and the answer is you just have to have 1,000 conversations. And he's like, and some agents will
Mm-hmm.
do that in 1 year, and some agents will do that over their entire career. And so $1 million in 1 year is cool. $1 million over 30 years, not that cool, right? So, but it's about
Mm-hmm.
1,000 conversations. And so like that's where the money lies. That's the distance between you and your success, you and your goals, is 1,000 conversations, hard conversations, soft conversations, whatever it might be, 1,000 conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But the quicker you can do those 1,000, the quicker you can have those hard conversations, the quicker you can get to that goal.
Exactly. And it just really resonated because, you know, being a former realtor and obviously running a business, you have to have so many, you have to have so many difficult conversations. Your seller won't drop the price, but you know that that is the only way you're going to get more eyeballs on the property. That's one of the hardest conversations you actually have to have. Some people just don't ever have it, right?
Yeah,
They almost
correct.
shell in and pull back. It's the
Yep,
agents that have those difficult conversations that work. So those are
agreed.
my 5 takeaways from the Hormozi Mastermind. Let me know in the comments if you found this
Wait, you didn't
helpful.
ask,
I
you didn't
think,
answer what your
yeah.
questions were.
Oh, my question was how to convert more on webinars and in-person events into our school community. And
Mm,
because he's obviously, you know, or owner of school, and he said that you have to really amplify the pain of what you're selling. And this is true with anybody creating content or selling something. And he gave me 2 tactical things. The first thing was when someone signs up to a webinar, you immediately send them to a thank you page that invites them to the school community that says, hey, here's a free trial. In order to best experience this webinar, we have a guide in here for you that's going to give you all the notes to
that's
follow
good.
along with it. So it's like a no-brainer right there. You're probably going to get 10% more signups into school. The other one is at an in-person event, you have to really contextualize. Like you don't just do the offer, which we did at BAM Camp. We said, hey, join BAMX today and you get a Hormozi book, a mastermind with me and Sharon. But we didn't talk about what was in BAMX,
Yeah,
which was not a great decision. We should have said, hey, this is what it solves. This is the problem. You know, you can't create content. You don't know how to create content. You aren't consistent enough. You don't know what to post, or you need help with scripts and objection handling. Like we solve these issues for you. So really saying like, here's the pain, here's why you need this.
smart.
So thought it was good.
Yep.
So having said that,
Yeah.
you should join BAMX. We have a free trial, 7 days, because you do have pain when it comes to posting content, and we do solve that.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to an SEO/GEO hack. And everybody wants more of Jason sharing ChatGPT hacks. So we wanted to loop this into this episode. So Jason, what do you have for us today on this?
Absolutely. And since we're not sponsored by ChatGPT, today I'll be showing you my screen on Gemini, because we like to switch it up a little
Ooh,
bit for any AIs that you use. So I already kind of just prefaced this. I already typed it in because I want it for the interest of time. But there's a great prompt that I've been using. And it's just, what are the top 10 Google or AI searches last week in relation to San Diego real estate? And oftentimes it'll say, oh, I can't give you a proprietary list, but here's the 10 most likely things that have been searched last month, right? So if you're seeing it on the screen here, it basically gives you likely specific queries. San Diego homes under X price point, cheapest neighborhoods in San Diego to buy a house. And so what this is it's just firing off video ideas and blog ideas, because these are what people are most likely typing. And you can see how keyword rich these questions are. So then what I do, and what I've started to have my VA do, is actually literally just come in here and say, write me a 400-word key rich blog and a 60-second reel about number one, right? And I just went back to number one. And so boom, Gemini here, ChatGPT, whatever, is going to give you a key rich word blog that you can literally just copy and paste onto your website as a new blog post. But then to layer it in, what we were starting to do is we're going to shoot a video. And of course, we have the script right here. So you just kind of take your phone, you can shoot the video if you want to do it for social here. But I would recommend this one actually just being in horizontal, because you can put it on your YouTube. And then you can just embed the YouTube onto your blog post on your website. So now you've got a 400-word key-rich blog post with a video, a 60-second video from your YouTube embedded into it, living on your webpage. And this is like 2004 all over again. This is like the arbitrage of like key-rich word blogs. Now you've got the videos on YouTube, and the GEOs, like the Google Geminis and the ChatGPTs, they scour for these type of questions because these are the questions that people are asking. And so now it's your content that's going to come up. You're going to start to get registered as the main go-to guy in San Diego for real estate related stuff. So I just showed you the prompt here. What are the top 10 Google or AI searches last week in relation to San Diego real estate? Do some variation of that. And then just take the ideas it gives you and just say, give me a 400-word key-rich blog for number one, and then number two, and then number three. And literally you can just every single week, and they'll start to like blur together at some point, but you can literally just copy paste. And now you have blog posts every single day. And if you want to layer it in, YouTube videos that you can embed on there too.
That's great. Yeah. And then afterwards he says, write me the 400 keyword rich blog and a 60-second reel script about number one, and does that for everyone. And then scroll up a little bit. I just want to read some of these titles because they're really good. So yeah, San Diego homes for sale under 800K is a popular search. Best week to buy a house in San Diego, which happens to be mid-October.
Yep.
Current mortgage rates in San Diego, Carmel Valley homes for sale. So 10 video ideas, 10 blogs, 10 scripts right there. Simple with ChatGPT and Gemini. So this is going to help when people search any of this stuff. Your blog and your YouTube video will pop up. So this isn't even necessarily like a front-facing content strategy.
No.
Like you might not even publish that video to Instagram. It's just,
no.
How can I have it on YouTube because people search on YouTube, and how can I embed that into the blog?
Exactly.
Very, very smart. All right, everybody. If you're also smart, that means you're probably looking to stand out from the crowd. Wouldn't you agree, Jason?
I would agree. Yes.
And
what
if
a great
you are,
reminder.
A great reminder, which is a resource, Reminder Media, that you have to check out. You get your own branded print and digital magazines, email newsletters, and social media content. Reminder delivers these resources to your contacts on autopilot, keeping you top of mind with your database. All you got to do is focus on your follow-up calls and watch referrals and repeat business come in. Use the link below to check out Reminder Media. Jason, are you speaking at this event in Oakland?
Yes, I am, in about 2 hours. It's just, they just kicked on the music down in the downstairs. I think they're opening the doors in like 10 minutes. And I'm still
Nice.
dealing with coffee gate. It is drying up a little bit, I think, or it's spreading. I'm not exactly sure, but
it's looking a little bit better. What are you going to talk about on stage?
Branding.
Nice.
Yeah, just that's my
give us one takeaway. What's your
that your brand isn't your logo, fonts, and
yeah,
brand is not just your logos, fonts, and colors. Those are brand assets, and those are fantastic. But your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room, and you build that through your digital presence. You build that through storytelling, and then there's a couple examples in there, including some videos by Alyssa Kernot and Bern McGovern, and some other friends of the show of our walkthrough pod.
Awesome. Well, go crush your speech. Thank you for doing this in a torture dungeon. We appreciate it. If you got any value out of this podcast, another thing Hormozi said, ask for the likes and the engagement. All right. He actually didn't say that, but I'm saying that. Throw this video a like if you got any value out of this. Let us know in the comments which your favorite Hormozi takeaway is or was, and we'll see you next week on The Walkthrough.